Hello, thanks for joining me again. Today's practice, we are working a little bit on balance and with the flexibility that's required to get into some of these balance poses. So equipment-wise, you want to have a wall for support. You also want to have your yoga strap, some bricks, and we're working into Hanumanasana, which is splits, which are great for flexibility. So a bolster would be great, or some shoulder balance foams for supports, or even a pile of blankets. So grab your props and meet me on the mat. Welcome back. So we're coming to sitting in Swastikasana just to begin our practice. Take some height to sit on, and you want to sit in a cross-legged position. If you instinctively took your comfortable cross of the legs, change the cross of the legs so that eventually both crosses should feel absolutely natural, normal, not very awkward. Now lifting up the spine, opening up the chest. Exhale, settle the thighs down, settle the knees. Lift your spine tall. With the height under the buttocks, this helps you to lift onto the pinpoint of the buttock bones, helps you to bring the sacrum into the body. So feel that you're sitting from the pinpoint of the buttock bones. There's a tallness through the sides of the spine, but the shoulders are released away from the ears. And then bring your hands into the prayer position. Put the head and neck straight. Soften the gaze and gently close the eyes. And just come to your breath. With each inhalation, you open up the chest. With each exhalation, you draw yourself towards your mat. You've set aside this time for your practice. So just take a few moments to be with your breath, to be with your body, and to bring yourself completely to your mat. If you chant the Oms or any invocation, do so at the beginning of your practice now, or make your own dedications for your practice. Lengthen the spine, lift and open the chest. Exhale, relax the knees and the thighs, especially release the top shoulder down away from the ears. And keeping the chest nice and tall on an exhalation, bow your head down. Taking a moment here to salute the divinity within. Release the hands into the lap and gently begin to lift up your head and open the eyes. Right, so we're going to begin in Supta Parangustasana. I'll show you quickly which pose we are doing so that you can set yourself up with space away from the wall. So the first one we're doing is Supta Parangustasana with the leg up at 90 degrees. Then we're going to take the leg out to the side for Pajva. Then we're coming back to 90 and then returning past the hip ever so slightly, getting a stretch here, and then we'll turn all the way. So this is where the wall is in the way. You need to make sure you have space so that you can take that hip all the way over, that foot all the way to the floor, and that bottom foot will turn. So we're going to begin in Supta Tadasana, and Supta Tadasana means you're lying flat on the floor. So you're going to grab your strap, and we're beginning by lying in Supta Tadasana. So Supta Tadasana, you're going to settle yourself on your back, lengthen the back waist, the buttocks away from the back waist, quieten the abdomen, shoulders are away from the ears, but there's length in the lumbar spine. And then you extend the arms and the legs, and you lie as if you're standing in Tadasana, opening up the feet. Now in Supta Tadasana, extend the legs. Feel that as you extend the legs, more and more the back of the leg comes to touch the floor. Each inhalation, you lift up the chest. Each exhalation, you extend the arms, you extend the legs. And then you're going to take your strap around the ball of the right foot. So bend up the right leg, take the strap around the right foot and extend both legs completely. So it's the first pose of the practice. Don't be tempted to go completely into the full position. Be here for a few breaths where you're opening up the back of the knee. You're just getting acclimatized to that stretch. And then slowly, slowly, you can begin to bring the leg closer towards you. Make sure that you keep both sides of the body long. So don't allow the root of the right thigh to come up to the shoulder. And then holding the strap in both hands, keep the chest nice and open. And again, extend both the legs. Bring life to the legs. As you extend the legs, notice, does that firmly take the knee in? Are the quadriceps working? Relax the shoulders, the teeth, the jaw, so don't harden there. Extend the legs, then taking both straps into your right hand, you're taking the right leg over to the side. If you can hold the foot, go for it. Otherwise, keep holding your strap and take the leg out to the side. This is now Pajva. And in Pajva, you're not just dropping that leg to the side. You want to suck from that outer hip into the hip socket. You want to open that abdomen from the left to the right and keep this right side in Tadasana. So you're not rolling to the left. Open up the groins. From the pelvis, extend to that inner foot, and from the outer foot, suck into that outer hip. Keep the outer thigh firmly gripping to the bone. From Pajva, you're going to bring your foot back to the center. Now taking the strap in the left hand. Move the left foot slightly over to where the right foot was. And then as you come over, strong legs, extended legs, and bring the right buttock over. You want to settle that left foot on the floor if possible. And you'll see there's a narrowness in the abdomen. But now you're turning away from that right foot and extending the right arm along the floor. Just feel what your left foot is doing. You can straighten that left leg as much as you can. Move that left thigh back. Stretch the spine. Open up across this right side of the abdomen where you're not letting that right hip lift up. Move the root of the right thigh away. And then if you need to bend your knee, extend the leg up and bend the knee. With both knees bent and the feet on the floor, you're just going to, again, align the spine. Make sure that the shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle are aligned. And then you are releasing the back body completely. Then let the shoulders move down. Keep the buttocks pinned towards the heels when you straighten the arms and the legs to Supta Tadasana. In Supta Tadasana, you're going to bring the left foot up. So extending the left leg up in the air. Take the strap on the ball of the foot and straighten both legs. So just be here for a few breaths where you're lengthening through the back of the leg, and with sort of imagine you extending right through the heel plate. So stretch both legs completely. And as you extend the legs, you should feel that the knee moves in, that the thighs become firm, and that right leg extension of the right leg brings the back of the right leg more and more to the ground. So the arms are extended towards the strap. You're getting an openness across the chest here. Stretch and extend the legs completely and see that you are not hardening or clenching the teeth. You're relaxing in the shoulders. There's broadness and space in the collarbones, no tightness there. Now, taking both straps in the left hand, extend both legs and take the left leg out to the side. You want to pin this right side onto the ground, and you want to open the groins as much as you can. So extend into that left leg. And at the same time, from that left heel, you want to draw back in towards the left hip and turn from the left to the right so that you stay in Tadasana with the body and the right leg. And opening that groin, extending both legs. You can take the arms at your sides and open the chest. And then on an exhalation, bring the leg up, extend it fully. Move that right foot over to the left side, and on an exhalation, bring the left leg all the way over and open up into that left, stretching that left back, that left buttock. Move that right thigh, stretching to the heel to straighten the right leg. You want to then open the chest and extend the left arm, trying to get the right foot to press back, the left foot onto the floor, and openness in the chest. This root of the left thigh has to stay away. Don't let it come up. You're not shrinking that left side of the body. From here, if you need to bend the knee, you do. Otherwise, two straight, strong legs. Bring the left leg up and remove the strap. Bend both knees, put the feet on the floor. And again, just adjust so that the spine is in a central position and that the back body is aligned along the floor. So now we're going to come back to Supta Tadasana, and this time we're taking both legs up without the strap into Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, and then we'll go into Urdhva Prasarita Eka Padasana. So you're going to lie down flat, have your strap nearby, extend the spine, spread the back along the floor, and then when you lie back, move the shoulders down away from the ears, and you're going to extend both legs into Supta Tadasana. Then we're bending up both legs. If you're able to do it with straight legs, you're going to inhale, and on an exhalation, there's an abdominal contraction, and you bring both legs up to Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Take your strap, and at first, we're bringing the legs to a 90-degree position. So keep the heels over the hips, and you can feel the weight of the limbs pressing the lower spine into the floor. The abdomen here is quiet. So now this gives you a chance to really work the legs. Open up the soles of the feet, firm up the knees so that thigh muscles are working, and feeling this lowest part of the spine, the sacrum, on the floor. You're going to start now to bring the legs closer towards you. So some people might be able to reach their feet. Other people cannot get more than 90 degrees. Some not even there. So you work where you're at, but keep spreading the feet open. Keep opening the backs of the legs. Keep the legs nice and firm, and see, can you do it with quietness in the neck and the throat and the shoulders? Are you pressing the back of the head strongly into the floor? Can you try and relax from the shoulders up? The legs are working, and then hold the legs there. Take the arms overhead to Urdhva Hastasana. Keep extending the legs, opening the feet. In this Urdhva Hastasana position, think of what you were doing, how we do downward facing dog. So this is kind of the shape for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Extend the legs, bring the hands back, holding the legs with the strap. Now, unhook the right foot and take the right foot down onto the floor. Extend both legs fully. Keep the hips and the sacrum level, and then releasing the strap, extend the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana with the arms. Stretch the arms and the spine, and in the opposite direction, extend into the right leg and stretch that left leg up to the ceiling. So this is the shape that we have for Virabhadrasana 3, right? Warrior 3. Bring the hands back, bring the right leg back into the strap. And now extending both legs fully, firming up the knees. Unhook the left leg and extend the left leg along the floor. Keep the right side of the body nice and open here. And with two strong legs, take the arms over to Urdhva Hastasana. And we're working into Virabhadrasana 3 today. So just feel here the levelness in the hips, the levelness in the chest, the openness in the chest, the extension in the arms, the spine, the legs, how strong the legs are working. Bring your hands back towards the strap, towards the foot. Grab hold of the strap, and then take the left leg up. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the legs closer, but keep the sacrum on the floor. Don't lift the buttocks. Extend the arms to get closer to the legs. Are you able to hold the feet and keep the spine long and keep the chest open and keep the legs straight and keep the sacrum on the floor? So you're working towards that. Be with your strap, be wherever you're at, and just really focus on extending each inhalation. Stretch the spine, stretch the legs. Each exhalation, press open the knees. Release the shoulders away from the neck. You can unhook your strap, take your arms overhead. If you have back issues, please take your hands underneath the sacrum. Otherwise, arms overhead or hands at your side. Inhale, stretch and strengthen the legs. And as you exhale, slowly release down. And relax along the floor. Bend your knees. Roll onto your side. And we're coming up. So we're coming to Adho Mukha Virasana. And then from Adho Mukha Virasana, we're working into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So toes are together, knees are apart. The knees are just sufficiently wide so that this cushioning in the inner thigh supports the sides of the body. Now, with the buttocks grounded, you're going to extend forward and come to Adho Mukha Virasana. Extend the arms forward, lock the elbows. Keep pressing into the hands and use that pressure to get the buttocks more grounded. Then coming on to all fours, don't change the distance between the hands and the knees. Turn the toes under, lift the knees off the floor and come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana is downward facing dog. So you want to press into the hands, firm up the arms, open the armpits and bring the chest through towards the knees. The body is in a shape like a pyramid. Straighten the knees, firm up the knees, suck up the quadriceps, and if you're very tight, really focus on lifting the buttock bones. If you're quite flexible, all you need to do is just bring that sacrum into the body. Work with your breath. Stretch the arms, open the armpits, let go of the neck though. Slowly start to descend the heels, opening the backs of the knees, stretching the spine fully. In Adho Mukha Svanasana, you're in a pyramid shape, a triangle shape. So you're not bringing the body forward over the hands. You have to pressurize the hands, dig the dorsal spine in. Abdomen stays back in its position, spine is long. Then bring your knees to the floor, release in Adho Mukha Virasana. For this next Adho Mukha Svanasana, we're keeping the feet together when we come up. So stretching from Adho Mukha Virasana, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Draw up the knees, open up the chest, make all those adjustments that you had. Feet are together. And then we're going to suck up the knees and lift the right leg up, but keep the left hip lifted so that the sacrum is level. Think of the Virabhadrasana 3 shape we were in just a moment ago on the floor in Urdhva when the hands were over the head. And now release the right leg down. Extend the spine, firm up the arms, lift the left leg, but keep that right outer thigh, right outer hip lifted. Keep bringing the chest towards the knees. Keep extending both legs, and that left leg is facing the floor. On an exhalation, bring the leg down. Then we're going to allow the hips to open up now. So taking the right leg up, once the right leg is up, lift it as high as it will go, and just open up the hips. Open up the hips. Try not to open the chest too much. On an exhalation, come down. Then strong extended arms and spine, firm legs, lift up the left leg, Then lift that left leg, open the hip, extend that leg up into the sky. Breathe. On the next breath out, leg down, knees to the floor, toes together, and descend the buttocks to the heels in Adho Mukha Virasana. You can rest the arms by resting the elbows on the floor for this Adho Mukha Virasana, as it is a restorative pose. So when you fold forward, you get that extension, that openness in the chest, but then rest the elbows so that the arms can rest, so that the shoulders can rest also, and you can quietly catch your breath. We're going to now do those exact same shapes in a pose called Utthita Hasta Parangustasana, which is actually a balance pose. However, if you struggle with balance, a nice way of doing it is taking your foot to a wall. You're going to measure yourself up. If you can find a corner like I have here, then that's perfect, because you'll then have a wall to help you to balance, and you'll have a wall in front of you for support for the leg extensions that we are doing. So you will stand facing a wall, and you want to have, when you take up the leg and take the leg to your support, the foot is in line with the hip, and this standing leg, the hip, the knee, the ankle, all align, and that foot faces the direction of the raised leg in Tadasana. Okay, so measure yourself up. Now, once you've got that measurement, if you look at your feet, you're just going to turn as if you're on a lazy Susie. We're doing 3 poses to the right leg, then we'll do 3 poses to the left leg. So the first pose is the Pajva position, where when we were lying down, we took the leg out to the side. So turn the right leg out. This left side of the body has to stay nice and strong. You're going to take the right foot up onto your support and then extend that leg completely. Now, when we were lying against the floor, we had to really suck that outer thigh in and turn the abdomen from the right to the left to get to that position that we were on the floor. So really turn this whole thigh up. The knee and the toes should be facing up to the ceiling. Make sure the right buttock is descending and this left thigh is moving back and is strong. Open up. So this pose basically is like Ardha Chandrasana, Trikonasana. So they're all the same shapes. Once you've been in Pajva, Utthita Hastasana for a couple of breaths, you can bring that right leg and stand again on your spot. Now you're going to once more turn on that spot. We're doing the right leg again. This time we're keeping the hips facing our support, and you're taking the right leg up. The hips are level. So again, this standing leg has to be strong. You've got the support of the wall for balance. Suck up the thighs, keep the outer hips compacting towards the midline, and then extend up fully. So once again, this is that same Virabhadrasana 3 shape, that same Warrior 3 shape. So if you struggle with Warrior 3, with the arms in Warrior 3, now's a really good time to work on opening them, on extending the arms, on moving the shoulder blades. On an exhalation, release the hands down. And then we come into Parivrita. Now, Parivrita was where we turned and we brought the foot over. So now we're going to turn the body. And this is where it's useful to have a wall, that you can use the wall to help you to twist into this pose. Legs are strong, stretching the back muscles. Press against the outer right leg to help you to twist. And then if you're able to, you can extend that right arm. On an exhalation, come back to the center and stand in Tadasana. Catch your breath for a few moments. So now we're going to take the leg to the left leg up. So you'll measure yourself facing your wall. Then we're going to turn sideways. So the first one we're doing is Pajva. You're going to turn the left leg out to the side, take the left leg up against the wall, and then you can see my side view. This left bum shouldn't be sticking out and the right thigh mustn't come forward. So I stand tall, I take that right thigh back simultaneously, bring that left buttock and outer thigh in. Open from the groin to the foot, stand strong on that Tadasana leg. Then when there's work in the legs, when there's compactness in the hips, when you can stand tall, extend the arms, open up the chest, keep that standing leg strong, keep rolling that left thigh so that the knee faces up to the ceiling and the buttock descends down. From Pajva, you will bring that leg back to Tadasana. And then we're going to go to the first position where now the leg is up. So you turn your feet to face your support. Your left leg is up on your support, and it's two straight legs, two strong legs. You're keeping your pelvis in a neutral position. The root of this left thigh moves down, and you suck up that right standing leg strongly, and then you extend the arms up. Firm legs, extension in the spine. Can you lift the chest? Can you lift the gaze? Can you move the arms back? Strong legs. Feel that whole three-way direction that is this shape of Virabhadrasana number 3. On an exhalation, you can bring the hands down onto your hips if you like. And then we're going to come to the revolved, where you're going to press the back of the hand on that leg. You're turning, legs are strong. And when the chest has turned completely, you take that left arm back. Two straight, strong legs. Keep lifting the chest, keep breathing. Exhale, release. Come back to Tadasana. And just stand in Tadasana where you're not working the legs, you're not working the arms, you're just releasing the body and you're quietly catching your breath. So we're going to come to Tadasana, standing on a brick now. If you have a very long foot, then rather have 2 bricks lengthways. So you're placing your bricks on your mat, have your strap, and we're measuring the strap from inner armpit line to inner armpit line. So if you take a small loop and you measure inner armpit line to inner armpit line, or even narrower is fine, have the strap on your wrist so that the tail end is not going to bump you on your face. So the first thing we're doing, once you've got your strap measured, just put the strap around your neck. Stand with the 2 feet on either side of the 2 bricks. And you're standing tall and straight. So now you want to gain confidence in your balance. You want to keep the chest lifted, look straight ahead if possible. Many times we look down. That's fine if you instinctively do that, but do keep reminding yourself to look up. Take your hands on your hips, keep the hips nice and level. So now bend up the left leg, put the left leg on the bricks and see, can I square off the hips once more? Then sucking up that right leg, press confidently onto that brick and come to stand tall in Tadasana. Hold for a few breaths where you're feeling that work in the legs, that compactness in the hips. Then you lower yourself down with control. Once again, you're going to connect that left foot into the bricks, suck up that right leg, feel that firmness in the legs, that extension of the spine, lift the chest, lift the gaze, just feel confident in your balance and then release. Then we're going to do one more time when now you've got the strap to get that extra lift of the arms and the chest and that extension. So again, hips are level here. You can already take the arms overhead to Urdhva Hastasana. Use the strap to get full length. Then inhale, and as you exhale, stand tall. Stand tall in Urdhva Hasta Tadasana. Feel that firmness in the legs. that absolute extension of the spine. C, can I focus on extension more than balance here? And then on an exhalation, release and come down. So sometimes for some people, when you have that strap, you get that ability to extend more. And then when you're extending and you're focusing on that extension, the balance no longer becomes a huge issue. So again, we're standing with our strap just over our shoulders. Hands are on the hips. There's levelness there. Bring the right foot onto the bricks. Level out the hips. Chest is lifted, gaze is up. And again, that confidence, you can stand. So inhale, and as you exhale, stand confidently on that right leg. Bring levelness into the hips. Bring life and action into both legs. Just feel that firmness, that stability. So there's something about being on the brick that just really engages your whole self onto that brick. Again, second side, second time. Inhale, and as you exhale, again with confidence, lift up, stand tall, find your balance, lift your chest, lift your gaze, not your shoulders. And with confidence, exhale, bend the right knee and step down. And now we'll do one where we're focusing on extension. So once more, arms up. Use the strap to get that length, to get that extension. Inhale, and as you exhale, press into the right foot, suck up the left leg, and extend. Extend the arms, extend the sides of the body, extend the spine, and feel when you're extending, does the balance come? Then on an exhalation, bend the right knee, release, and come down. So if you're nervous about being on the bricks, then don't do these poses on the bricks. You can do these next few without the brick, but again, the brick just really zones your focus in and assists you somehow in the balance. What we're going to do now, you're going to stand on your bricks once more, and this time we're going to kind of seesaw the body into the Virabhadrasana 3 shape. So right foot, left foot is on the brick. I've got my strap with my arms overhead. Inhale, and as I exhale, step confidently onto the brick, extend into the arms, come forward and extend, extend. Focus on extension. Keep extending. Limbs are strong and extended. In your own time, you release out of it, you come back to standing and release the arms. Then we'll go to the other side. So it feels a little bit strange on the brick, but just try it. From here, Urdhva Hasta arms. Inhale, and as you exhale, stand tall on the right leg. Left leg has to suck up and be firm. And then when you come forward, just extend, extend. Keep working with the breath, keep the gaze steady. And then in your own time, you'll release, come up and out of it. Rest in Tadasana. So you can do this Virabhadrasana 3 the way you would from the classic Virabhadrasana 1 position. If you're a bit nervous of having the bricks, then by all means, you'll just do it without bricks. All right? So we're going to stand. We're going to take the right leg up first. So we're going to come to Virabhadrasana with the left leg forward and the right leg back. Have your strap handy because it does just help to get that extension. But if it's not working for you, set it aside. So your hips are going to face absolutely forward, the same way they were facing in Utthita Hastasana. The right foot can turn out sideways. You're stepping the left foot onto your bricks. Now, if you're just sliding forward, it means you haven't got a grip on this leg. So suck up this left leg, keep this left hip back. Don't take the legs too wide for this Virabhadrasana 1, especially if it's your first time on the bricks. Urdhva Hasta arms. Stretch up on the inhalation. As you exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, and as you exhale, come forward over the left leg. Come onto the left leg, lift the right leg, lift the arms, and come to Virabhadrasana 3. Take a few breaths here where you're extending, lengthening, then step back to warrior one, straighten the left leg, and you can step the feet together. We'll do to the other side now. So right foot is going to come forward onto the bricks. Make sure the ball of the foot, the heel are nicely on. Left foot, back. Turn the hips the same way that we did in Utthita Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale and exhale, come forward over that leg. Extend up. Lift that back leg. Stretch the spine, stretch the arms. Extend as much as you can. Be there for a few breaths. In your own time, bend the right knee. Step back to Virabhadrasana 1. Straighten up. Bring the feet together. Okay, you're going to come to Uttanasana to release. So step a foot away from a wall, feet hip distance apart. Rest the buttocks into the wall. Lift the buttocks up the wall. Extend yourself down. You can either rest the hands on the floor or on bricks, or you can cross the arms, the forearms, hold the elbows and let go. So breathe here. Allow the heart rate to come back to normal. Just finding a nice smooth rhythm to your breath. And when your body feels sufficiently restored, we're coming now to Uttanasana. So we're not going to begin with the full Uttanasana. We're going to do half Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana, which is why you need a set of bricks. You want the bricks a full body length away from you. And we're going to keep the feet together, sucking up the thighs and the knees, taking the hands under the shoulders onto bricks so that the spine is straight. If your spine is rounding, you need more height. If you're able to take the bricks lower, for now, just keep them at this height and lengthen the front body as you take the roots of the thighs, especially the outer left and right thighs, move back. The inner left and right thighs, move them back. Now, keep the hips level. You want to keep this lower part of the spine, the sacrum, like a tabletop, and you're going to lift up your right leg, but keep that right leg strong and extended. Don't let that right leg at any point be soft and just flopping about. Extend into the big toe mound, lift that right leg, stretch both legs, stretch the spine. So you're doing basically Virabhadrasana 3 shape, but from Ardha Uttanasana. Stretch that right leg, but keep that whole right leg facing the ground. Don't turn the hips. And then exhale, bring the right leg down, back to Ardha Uttanasana. Now from Ardha Uttanasana, keeping the legs firm, lift that left leg. The left leg stays facing the floor. Don't turn the hip out and up. So the pelvic bone in front has to face the floor. The knee, the toes all face the floor. Extend the spine fully. Extend the legs fully. Open the chest. Keep both knees firm. And then when you've been there for the same length of breaths, you'll exhale and release. Bring that leg down. Now, if you can, you're going to lower the bricks down. If you're able to be without bricks, you're going to bring your hands to the floor. If you're very flexible and you can do the full Uttanasana with the hands back, you're going to come to whichever Uttanasana works for you. So extending the front body, keeping the legs nice and strong and lifted. Take the head down, arms down. Now exhale, lift the right leg as much as you can. We're working into Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Lift the right leg and bring the body down. Keep both hands on the floor for now, so you don't have to worry about balance. You're doing splits in the air, so extend that leg. Exhale, bring the right leg down. You can come through Ardha Uttanasana, the halfway position, and then on an exhalation, suck up the thighs, drop the head, come down. 2 hands on the floor to support you. Start lifting the left leg, lift the left leg, lift it, let the body come down, lift that left leg, and keep this right leg nice and strong. Right outer thigh and hip lifting strongly. Exhale, head down, split the legs apart. Then release the leg down, come back to Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, up you come, stand in Tadasana to have a rest in Tadasana. So in the classic pose, you want to bring the hand around to hold onto that foot. If you're able to balance in that pose, if the leg is sufficiently tall and higher enough, then we'll try that. If not, just keep doing exactly what we just did. So you're going to inhale. On an exhalation, come forward through Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Hands down, head down, Uttanasana. Now, raise up the right leg as high as it will go. Exhale, bring the body down. Balancing on the left foot and the left hand. Bring the right arm across and hug yourself towards that left leg. Use the right forearm to hug you. Lift the right leg. Release. Ardha Uttanasana. From Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, head down, hands down, Uttanasana. Lift the left leg up. Lift the left leg up. Split the legs apart. Stretch the legs. Then balancing on the right foot and hand, bring the left arm across and pull yourself in as you lift that left leg more. Then exhale, come down. Lift to Ardha Uttanasana. And then lift to Tadasana. And just be in Tadasana as you catch your breath for a few moments. So a nice way to practice Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana is using the foot on the wall. You'll do a little downward dog, not a great big downward dog, because you're working into the splits. So you want to get the legs close to the wall. So at first, you're going to come like halfway between Ardha Uttanasana, halfway between downward dog. Heels can be on the skirting, hips are level, legs are straight. Then you're going to take up the right leg, extend the right leg up the wall, use the foot to turn the hips level, straighten the legs, and then start to walk further and further closer to the wall. And it's only as you get closer that you can maybe allow the hips to turn a little bit. Once you've been there for a few breaths, working at pushing yourself towards the wall, at raising that right leg up, you will walk forward, release, have a rest in this little baby dog, and then left leg, bend, take it up. Use the foot to turn the hips. Then start to walk back. You're working towards the split, so turn the hips and move back. Walk the arms back, let go the head. You just did this pose. Now you can intensify the stretch on that top leg. When you've been in this full position, your fullest, deepest stretch, walk your hands forward, come back to that downward dog position, and then you can rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. Toes together, knees apart. Once you've stretched forward, release your arms, cross your arms, and just rest your shoulders, rest your head. Once you've sufficiently recovered your breath, you can pause this video if you do Shirshasana. Shirshasana is the head balance. I recommend you don't do it on your own for the first time. So do work on it before you ever go into it, or work with a teacher. So if you do Shirshasana, now would be a good time to pause the video and come into your Shirshasana. Then you can join us coming into Hanumanasana. So Hanumanasana is the splits. Having a set of bricks is helpful, especially if you're very tight. Having some blankets or even these foam bricks to prop under the buttocks, those are a winner. What you're going to do is have your props nearby, and you're taking a blanket onto the floor. Now, with the blanket on the floor, the idea is that the foot is going to slide. You make sure that you're in control of that foot and not the other way around. We're going to go into it with the left leg forward first. The right leg, as much as possible, keep on the center of the front leg. You're going to bend up the left leg, put the heel on the floor, and you're going to start to extend that leg away. You can move your bricks with you. Keep extending, 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 and then you can slowly lower the bricks until you are comfortable. If you get to a point where this is just not going to release and let go, then what you do as you start sliding forward, when you realize, okay, I'm really not going to get much further than this, then you're going to place your props underneath that buttock, come forward so that you settled on the props, be upright with your bricks, and hopefully as you kind of start to spend time in this pose, let things ease into the pose, hopefully eventually you'll get to a point where you realize, okay, that stretch has kind of subsided, and then you can suck up that leg, bring the leg closer to you, remove a foam, and then extend, and then maybe take time settling here. The back leg, you're trying to keep on the center back leg, center back knee, center back shin. Don't turn the hips towards the left leg. Keep turning the hips towards the front leg. Once you've sat there for a bit, you see, can I release some support? Can I lift the chest? Can I extend the legs? If you feel stable, you can take the arms up to complete the pose. And you want to be there for a few minutes, a few deep cycles of breath, just to see, am I able to work into the full pose? Am I able to release into the full pose? When you've done the one side, you can pull the leg towards you by pushing away from the bricks. And especially if you're not used to Hanumanasana, come out of it slowly, get your knee in on, gently. Then you'll start on the other side. You'll have your props nearby. You'll exhale. You'll come into Hanumanasana there, and you'll see, where am I? What do I need to take just to prop me up so that I'm able to maybe endure it a little bit longer, so that maybe something quietens, maybe something lets go, maybe something releases, maybe I'm able to just deepen my hold in the pose. Keep turning the hips, you keep lifting the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Keep focusing on that extension, that spread of the legs, that lift of the spine and the chest. If you feel stable, you can extend the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. And when you've held the second side the same length as the first side, you're going to press off the bricks, suck that leg towards you. So go gently with the leg, and then you can come to a seated position. So, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We did it already at the beginning of class. We're going to repeat it now. And from Adho Mukha Svanasana, we're working a little bit into arm strengthening exercises. So set yourself up from Adho Mukha Virasana to come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Suck up the thighs, open the chest, the armpits. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, keep the abdomen and the legs firmly in their place, and come forward to the plank position. You extend the legs towards the heels, you lift the pubis towards the breastbone, weight bear on the hands there. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So if the plank is as much as you can manage, then you're only going to keep doing the plank until that feels easy for you. Chaturanga Dandasana is the push-up. You want to keep the elbows in, the shoulders away from the ears. It's not elbows out and the shoulders pinched. It's more this shape with that openness in the chest. So we'll go into it with the knees on the floor first. You're going to come once more to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep the feet slightly narrower. Firm legs, come forward to the plank. Take the knees to the floor. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears, bend the elbows, press into the hands and come forward, tailbone down. Then push away, come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, once more, forward into the plank, knees to the floor, forward to Chaturanga shape, stay there for a breath, then push away from the floor, release to downward facing dog. Then you can come forward to the plank, exhale, come forward to Chaturanga without the knees on the floor if possible, straighten the arms, back to downward dog. So you start practicing from there. The other option, forward, knees to the floor, down to Chaturanga, dig the toes under and straighten the knees off the floor and then push to downward dog. Come to Adho Mukha Virasana, have a rest, relax the elbows on the floor so that the arms are rested. So this next pose requires that Chaturanga shape, requires the Chaturanga strength, and requires the flexibility of Hanumanasana, the splits. So we're working into Ekapada Kundinyasana. So it's a combination of all that we've just done. You're going to come to Adho Mukha Svanasana, keeping the legs nice and strong. Exhale, come forward. And then if you lunge forward, you're going to take your elbow underneath that right leg, the left leg, whichever leg you've come forward with. Stretch the back leg, come forward onto the arms like Chaturanga Dandasana, and with the elbows bent, extend that front leg forward and stretch the legs. The full pose would then be lifting the back foot. So if that's within your practice, go for it. So try, you're going to come from downward dog. You're going to swing the one leg forward into the lunge. Hook your arm behind the shin, almost like we were doing in Urdhva Prasarita. Then, with the hands on the floor like Chaturanga, rest the back of that leg on the arm and stretch the leg up. Release, back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Do the second side, and if you have done the second side, rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. And then you're going to turn around, bring the feet together, the knees apart, extend the spine, widen the knees for Supta Baddha Konasana, and absolutely rest the whole arm on the floor. Releasing from the shoulders, the whole arm right to the wrists, the hands, the fingertips. You can close your eyes. So obviously, if you're a very strong practitioner and you do these poses a lot, you repeat them, you hold them longer, but you also listen to your body and take whatever recovery time you need. And if you do shoulder balance, you're going to pause the video here and do Salamba Sarvangasana to pretty much start finishing off the practice. So we're going to finish our practice now with a pose called Viparita Karani. Viparita Karani is a wonderful way to recover energy. You take a flat bolster, a nice firm squarish cushion, or you can use shoulder balance foams, you can use a pile of blankets. Basically, what you want is a nice firm support that's about 15 to 20 centimeters tall. You bring it against your wall, a little bit away from the wall. Some people like to put a rolled up blanket or a mat there so that the bolster doesn't move. The edge of the bolster has to connect here at the edge of the shoulder blades, and from the shoulder blades, the whole kidney and back and upper buttock is on the bolster. So you come next to your wall. You want your shoulders by the edge of the bolster. So you roll sideways and then you straighten yourself up with the legs up the wall, buttocks going towards that gap. So take whatever support you need or that you have to create this nice support. Then sideways, off the support. I want my shoulders there, my head there. So I start shoulder where I want it. Lift the knees, move the legs up the wall, support with my arms, adjust so that from the nose to the navel to the center of the legs is a completely straight line. Feel here that the shoulders are on the floor, back of the neck is long, throat is soft. You can relax the arms at the sides, palms face up to the ceiling. Viparita Karani is a wonderful restorative. So really you can close the eyes. Let go any tension in the legs. So bring softness to the legs. You don't have to hold them in any manner. And just feel that there's a quiet expanse in the abdomen. Viparita Karani, the bolster supports at the back of the shoulder blades. It supports the heart from behind. The chest is well opened. It's a wonderful pose to just open the chest, to catch your breath, to relax the heart. Has a lot of benefits. Also releases fatigue in the legs. Just be here for a few more quiet breaths. And bending the knees. Roll off the bolster onto the side so that your hips and the shoulders are off the bolster so that the spine is in a neutral position. Then using your hands, roll onto the side to come up. And we're going to finish off now in Shavasana. So Shavasana, you're going to take only whatever support you need. Some people prefer to not lie flat on their backs, to have a roll or a bolster under the knees. That's one way. The other option is to have a blanket for the head and make sure wherever you set up, you're nice and warm and none of your supports are in the way. So get yourself ready for Shavasana, especially if the area that you're in is cold, get some warm bits and pieces on. When you come into Shavasana, it is also a pose. So you want to make sure that at first start with the bent knees so that you can extend the back body along the floor. Then with the buttocks away from the back waist, with the shoulder blades in their place, you're going to release the top shoulder, extend the back of the neck. If your chin is higher than your forehead, take a blanket for the head to bring the head into a position where there's a slope down towards the chin and the throat is soft. Then relaxing the shoulders completely, extend the arms, extend the legs, and then if anything gets trapped, just gently adjust it, and on an exhalation, completely let go. You're just coming to your breath. Each inhalation is holding you in the Shavasana state. And with each exhalation, imagine that every cell in the body is exhaling and surrendering to the mat. Soft, silky inhalations and these deeper, fuller exhalations that take you deeper into Shavasana. the skin and the muscles of the face soft, released, especially the cheeks, the jaw, the teeth. The lips are touching, but barely touching, and the tongue is completely quiet, sort of folded in on itself towards the root. If your mind wanders, if you're distracted by sounds, by sensations in your body, adjust and reel your mind in. Just bring your focus to your breath. Silky, soft inhalations, gentle, peaceful exhalations. To come out of Shavasana, bringing your focus to the inhalations, start to let the inhalations become fuller. You're welcome to stay longer if you have the time. Otherwise, bending your elbows, bring your hands to rest anywhere that's comfortable on your torso for you. Slowly bending the elbows, bring your hands anywhere that's comfortable for you, on your abdomen, on your torso. And just connect with that inhalation once more. On the next breath in, stretch your arms over your head. Give your body a long, deep stretch. You can yawn or sigh the breath out. And then keeping the right arm up, bend your knees, roll onto your right side so that your head is cradled in your right arm. The left arm just comes forward and in front of the body. Just be in that fetal position, letting the left side of the body hold you in Shavasana. And the eyes feel ready to open, keep them closed. Press into the left hand, the head comes up last. Bring yourself into a seated position. And then once you're upright, close your eyes once more. Be upright, sit tall. Just check in with how you're feeling. Placing the hands together in the prayer position. Taking a moment here to give thanks for the health and strength of your body and your dedication coming to your mat today. Next breath in. Let the eyes gently flutter open and focus. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.